myself, and then I'll have Janelle introduce herself. And then, since there's the two of you right now, I'll ask you if you don't mind to introduce yourself so we can kind of know who we're chatting with. This was meant to be a really informal meeting, which is awesome. That being said, time to ask questions. If you have specific concerns or things that you want to address, I'm open to that tonight. It's just kind of think of it like sitting around the table with your girlfriends. Honestly, that's the whole idea, is that it's a comfortable, not overly medical, easygoing conversation. So I'm Dr. Reagan Tilley. Whole Health MHK is my labor of love. I've been doing it almost 5 years now. Will be 5 years in August. So I'm excited about that anniversary because that's a big one when you own your own business. I have a passion for women's health. That I never thought I'd say that, but I do, because I'm a woman and I want to be healthy. And women make the world go round. I don't care what anybody says. We make the world go round. And when we're not okay, things are not okay. You've heard the saying, if mama's not happy, nobody's happy. So I found it very important to understand that when I have people come to me as a new patient, they're usually the mother. Sounds like somebody's here. Come on in. Yeah, we've got fizz sticks. The energy fizz sticks actually are very energy producing. So I wouldn't sleep if I drank one tonight. But we have the fig rosemary fizz, which is delicious. It's a really nice thing. And then we have the pink lemonade adaptogen thing for kind of soothing your nerves. If you want to put a little mix in your water, we have that too. Okay. So it's really nice. And if you want to take the energy fizz for the morning, that'd be fine too. But yeah, we were just talking about how women rule the world, Krista, and that if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And so that's kind of my passion for women's health. And so I was just kind of introducing what I do. I know Kathy and Krista know me.
My name is Corey.
Well, look at that. I mean, you may not all start with a K, but very good.
Hard to see.
Yeah, very good. So what I realized is that what better time to approach women's health is I want to get it ahead of time when our girls are young, so that they are educated before they get to having hardship. But I'm recognizing that wasn't in place for our generation. It wasn't in place for us to learn as we go. It's more like, shh, don't talk about it. And then our mothers and grandmothers beyond that, you didn't talk about anything related to hormones or the change. We were just supposed to be pretty, don't pass gas, do what the man says. Yeah, suffer in silence. And so we don't do that anymore. We're not going to do that anymore. And what I want to do is educate you so you can educate the younger women in your life and the older women in your life that it's okay to talk about it. And then it's okay to ask for help, because if we don't ask for help, then we're not going to get it. So that is a little bit of why I am doing what I do. We'll get to know more about who I am as we talk. So I'm going to turn this while you introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure.
And since we're in our 40s, I'm going to turn down the thermostat just a little bit.
So I'm Janelle Leehammer, and I have been with Arbonne for 21 years. But before Arbonne, I was a practicing therapist. And so mental health is truly my kind of like my root passion that got me into doing Arbonne, because I realized that our nutrition and the way we live and what we put on our skin and in our body really does truly affect our mind and how we think and how we feel. And so for me, it was a perfect marriage to join Pure, Safe, and Beneficial Arbonne into my mental health practice. And so fast forward 21 years later, there's so much new research coming out now about the gut health. Our microbiome is so important, and we have microbiome inside our body from our nose all the way down. And we also have it on the outside of our skin. And if you're not keeping your skin healthy on the outside, keeping that microbiome strong and healthy, it really does truly affect what can get in and how the sun can affect you. So that's kind of my passion. I've got 11 grandbabies. I've been married for almost 12 years, and I love what I do. So yeah.
I've known Janelle about 10 years.
I think so. Yeah.
We've been kind of in each other's lives on and off for that long. And so
I guess we should have sat together.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's okay.
It's all good. So you made the longest trip, probably.
Yeah, about 2.5 hours.
Yeah. So
so
she
you'd
came
have-
out just to share this evening with me, because as soon as I told her what I was doing, she's like, "Can I come? I want to be there."
yeah.
And I said, "Of course," because two heads are always better than one, in my opinion.
Mm.
And a different take on everything is fantastic. So, would you mind introducing yourselves? We can just go in the circle. And if you don't want to be on video, I don't have to, because this is the one I'm going to post publicly. And if you want me to edit out anything, let me know. So,
My name's Krista Hahn. I'm a patient of Dr. Tilly since September and joined doing the metabolic reset program. So now I'm a member and she's my doctor. Amen.
very
I'm so jealous. I wish I lived
Yeah.
closer.
And speaking of young, like
Yes.
she's going to see two of my young kids next
Yeah.
week.
Excited.
One of them is 17 and very hormonal. So I'm excited for this change.
Well, like I said, my name is Corey and I saw this on a Facebook post.
Mhm.
And so I thought, this is something I'm menopausal, and just struggling with all the things that have to do with that, just fatigue and weight gain and all the other things, fog, starting, just needing to do something different. And I don't want to do anything that is, like the doctor's like, well, you could put, estrogen, and I was like, nope, you're not doing that. I do a lot of research. I was in the medical field for 20 plus years as, in different aspects of it. And so I know that, so not all medicine is good for you. I like to do more. I like to try and find more natural, so natural things that God's created, because obviously He created something that was good for you, and now we don't use it. Yeah.
I'm Kathy. I've known Dr. Reagan for eight. I don't think it's been quite 10, but
This will be my 10th year in Manhattan. So,
and I came to you pretty quickly after that, and I've just followed her wherever she goes. I come to several of her things just to see if I can get a different viewpoint of things. Maybe I never thought of it that way. So I like to approach subjects a little bit differently.
well, I'm so glad you're here. I knew that the amount of people that showed up today would be the right amount of people, because an intimate group is, like I said, it's going to be a more open group. I feel like we can at least bounce things off of each other, share experiences, and understand kind of where everybody's coming from. What I wanted to focus on tonight, I really want to do a series of menopause education. So the first one was just kind of foundations. I did that, I think, in February early on. So this month, I thought nutrition is the best place for me to do the deep dive starting, because nutrition is foundational. In my opinion, food is medicine, and let medicine be that food. I mean, that goes back to the Greek philosophers and the fathers of medicine. And the reality is, the more research we do, the more we learn how important food is. And not only food, how our bodies assimilate that food, meaning how does our body take it in? So microbiome, as Janelle talked about, is exceedingly important, and we're learning more and more. It's probably more important than anything. I'm in a program learning about how to help heal people from Alzheimer's, which can be done through food, through supplements, through lifestyle. And the brain has its own microbiome. So not just our GI tract, not just our skin, but our brain has its own microbiome. And if it's out of balance, it can create inflammation, leaky blood-brain barriers, and things like that. So this is that deeper dive into my passions, is how can I help people heal naturally? So just what you've asked for, just what you're looking for, is how can things be done naturally? The majority of people who come to me, if they want a pill, it doesn't take them very long to understand that while I might give them a pill, I am going to be educating them on how not to need that pill, or to need the fewest amount of them possible. And so I have probably less than a dozen conventional medicine patients that followed me over. They followed me for who I am and my beliefs. They're not in a position where they can make changes. My favorite thing to do is help people make those changes that they need to make in order to take power over their lives and not feel slave to modern medicine, which is kind of the situation many people are in right now. So, looking at nutrition, I thought, it's a hot topic right now. If you're searching menopause, you have Dr. Gabrielle Lyons, you've got Dr. Jen, I can't remember her last name right now, and then you've got the How to Fast Like a Girl. You've got all of these people teaching. They're not wrong, but they're not all right either. And so the biggest thing that I do, I think it's a little different from other people, is I don't have one box that I will stand on and it's, the sword that I'm going to die on, that it's the only way. What I believe is everybody has their own way. And my job is to help you identify what way is the best way for you. While there may be foundational things that are excellent for everybody, like our gut healing program, the quantum metabolic reset foundational program, all of those will help you start your healing journey. It's how you maintain it over the long haul that is very unique for each person. And so that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, was kind of those different things. I want to ask, what is something, and anybody can speak up. What is something you've heard either on social media or mainstream news, or that you've read recently that you just don't understand, or you want to know, is this real or is this not real? Anything popping up that you've heard or question?
Does dairy truly cause inflammation?
Oh, sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dairy products cause inflammation.
All right, so we'll go into that in a couple of different avenues. So many of us, due to the standard American diet and all of the toxins we're exposed to, have a leaky gut. So it means an impaired gut barrier. The lining from our mouth to our bottom is supposed to be impermeable except for to peptides that our body's microbiome has digested for us. Those are the things we absorb. When it's leaky, instead of having a nice tight junction, we can like see through it. And then we start getting proteins through that barrier that aren't supposed to be in our body, which triggers our body's immune system to attack. And so everything that it sees that looks like those molecules that are us become under attack because it looks like this molecule that's not supposed to be there. Tissues in our body that look like dairy and gluten, cartilage, thyroid tissue, hormone tissue, or like glandular tissues. So yeah, it causes inflammation because it's our body under attack. Is it the dairy by itself? If it's eaten in a healthy system that has proper checks and balances in place, most of us can handle it. There's the Eurasians that are lactose intolerant. That's the worst it used to be. It used to be, oh, I get gas. Now it's totally different. The other part of it is there's stuff in our dairy food that's not quite natural anymore, with all of our pasteurization and radiation and additives and things that are done to the dairy cows to keep them making milk, which is the hormones that cause little girls to grow bosoms and start their periods early. That's what keeps the milk cows milking. We give them more hormones so that they don't quit, so they don't dry up. And so those are the things that dairy can really cause problems for folks. So the other side of that sword is when that inflammation happens, our body creates something called casomorphins, which are the things that are anti-inflammatory molecules to try to cool down that inflammation that it caused. Casomorphins sound like endorphins, which sounds like morphine. That's why foods that cause us inflammation are addictive to us, because we want that nonstop cycle of anti-inflammatory, pain relieving natural morphine. And so people will eat to pain to eat more because their body keeps giving them these endorphins until it gives up. And then you're just sick. You get so sick. And so this is that vicious cycle. That's why it's so hard to break those habits and to eliminate, to heal, because we're basically being given a little natural morphine every time we eat it. And that's a highly pleasure center reactive substance. So we don't want that. Yeah. Great question. Yeah. Does that bring up any more, or do you have any others? You're like mind blown.
No, but I keep thinking about our appointment yesterday and it's like, man, I should rest about this. No, but the inflammation is a big thing that I would like to have address more.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe a good place to start.
Sure. I think a good place to start is obviously nutrition, figuring out the foods that are healthy options. Do you want to talk to the gut balance? Because Arbonne has just released a a newer version than what I've used recently. And it's got a whole bunch of really lovely things. I've checked the ingredients like, oh, they're on it.
Yes.
So
they are.
yeah.
Yes. So, so I don't know if you know anything about Arbonne. Are you familiar with Arbonne as a company? Okay, so we're 45 years old and we started in Europe, and our parent company is in France now. But our philosophy has always been and will always be pure, safe, and beneficial. In America, gotta love America, they only ban 11 ingredients that are toxic and harmful. In Europe, they ban 1,500. So that's a lot of ingredients that we're getting here in the United States that people in Europe are not allowed to have in their products. Well, Arbonne takes it a step further, and I'm proud to say we ban 2,000 ingredients because we feel like we just don't need them. We don't need those products. I mean, those ingredients. We can make pure, safe, and beneficial products that are incredible and premium without it. And so that's kind of a little bit about it. But our gut health products, it really truly is the cornerstone of our business right now, is in nutrition. And our gut, like Reagan said, if you have leaky gut, all kinds of things are going into your body. It's causing inflammation, it's causing problems with your lymphatic system, it's causing, a lot of people have fatty liver. The more fatty liver you have, the more lymph gets pumped into your body, the more lymph that gets into your body, it creates a problem. And so helping the body correct, I can't say heal because I'm not a practitioner, but helping the body correct the damage that has been done to it for years and years because of our diet and stress. Stress can be so hard on our body, especially our hormones and our adrenal glands. And the body it's a beautiful thing. It works together so well. But there's this thing called the vagus nerve. Are you guys familiar with the vagus nerve? The vagal nerve or vagus nerve. It's connected to your gut and your brain. And they talk and they communicate. And if they're not able to do that, if your gut is not as healthy as it could be, it's hard for that good communication to happen. And that's where my passion really comes in, is helping people on a mental health basis. Because I've heard different varying reports, but they say between 85 and 90% of our serotonin is connected to our gut. It's made in our gut, not our brain. And so if our gut is not producing that serotonin, we are not getting what we need to. And it's so frightening to me to think that children are not getting what they need, because when you come into this world, you are not born with microbiome. You are sterile in the womb. And if you are a cesarean baby that has been breastfed, that is not breastfed, that has been formula fed, your microbiome is created from the environment of the hospital. That's where you're getting your microbiome. You're not getting your microbiome from your mom, as you come through the birth canal or through the breast milk. And so babies are being born into the United States because, that's where you do most cesareans and formula fed babies that have a deficit right off the bat. And so we're seeing huge numbers and increasing in depression in children, schizophrenia in children, bipolar in children. Autism is off the charts. And we're seeing a lot earlier onset of dementia and Alzheimer's. And research is proving that a fasting diet, if you fast past a window of 16 and beyond, the plaque in your brain your body will actually start eating that plaque off your neurons. So that's why fasting is so important. And fasting also gives your body a break. It gives your digestive system a break so it can start to correct itself. But we have a couple different products are pretty phenomenal. The first one I'm going to talk about is our 7-day refresh. So the 7-day refresh is a fasting program. We used to have, well, we still have the 30 days to healthy living, and people were doing fasting around and using the 30 days to healthy living. And Arbonne saw a need that we really needed to help people do a really healthy fast, because a lot of people are not fasting in a healthy way. And one of the things that is promoted is drink black coffee, don't drink anything but black coffee and water. Well, if you drink black coffee on an empty stomach, you're going to spike your cortisol through the roof. And you don't want your cortisol spiking. The whole premise around the 7 days free refresh and the 30 days to healthy living is balancing your hormones. And I don't want to say balance, getting your hormones into rhythm, because balance is impossible. Getting your hormones into a healthy rhythm is so crucial. And so you don't want to spike your cortisol right out of the gate when you're, you think you're doing something healthy, but you're really not. So we have the 7-day refresh program. It starts with 2 cups of matcha. Matcha is, it's a Japanese form of green tea. It's a specific type of green tea. It is super high in antioxidants. And I am not a doctor, so I can't name all the medical things about it, but I do know that it is super high in antioxidants. Antioxidants are what your body craves to heal itself.
Mhm.
And it also has, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but it is a component in matcha in green tea that also helps your body to feel satiated. And so instead of feeling hungry while you're fasting, you feel satiated. I can't remember what the name of that is because I'm not a doctor and I don't remember all those medical scientific things.
Would it be
But
leptin? Does it?
yes.
Yes.
Healthy.
Yes. Those.
Yes.
The MCTs
Yes.
will help.
Yeah. So Arbonne has done a brilliant job of combining all these incredible ingredients into the matcha to make it perfect for fasting. And then you break your fast whenever you want to start your feeding window. You break your fast with our golden pea protein, and it's specifically designed for a fasting to break a fasting window. It's got all kinds of incredible things in it, as you can see from the paper. I'm not going to list all those things, but it helps to detox your liver. That's what its main target is to help flush and detox the liver so your liver can start to correct and heal itself. And then you eat a healthy, balanced. We really recommend a whole food diet approach, clean, healthy meats, just like sweet potatoes, broccoli. I love butter. I'm a butter girl. When I do the 30, I don't do the butter. I do ghee, but I love butter. So just choose things that are really healthy. Avoid the bad oils, and then stop eating by 6 o'clock and start your fasting time again. And we have a great detox tea that you can drink in the evening. It is. And then a dream tea, you can drink that in the evening. It also helps you feel satiated, and you just don't really feel like you want to eat in the evening. But and again, it's 7 days. It's so simple. I mean, Arbonne has done a really good job of making it so simple. And I mean, within 7 days, people are reporting great weight loss. They're reporting a change in how they feel, how they sleep. It truly is amazing.
Yeah, I think when it comes to using these kind of products, what's really important to understand is, they've done a great job. The Arbonne has done a really great job creating the products. The other thing that is really impressive to me, and the reason I stick with the company, is the science is there. It's not just the next gimmick. You'll find the influencers. It's like the colon broom drink to help you poop out all the pounds. Well, you know what that is? It's called Metamucil. It's psyllium husk that they've flavored with some lemonade and selling it for $65 for a jar. Okay. it's not magic. Arbonne's products aren't magic, but the way they have come together, the synergy of them allows the body to, it is healing for the body to detox. And so when we support liver cleansing, liver detox through nutritional products, what that does is it helps our body naturally clear hormones. If our body isn't working right, if we have an abnormal microbiome, we can't eliminate and excrete the hormone waste that we need to get rid of. And so what happens is our body reabsorbs it into the liver, and it gets turned into a sad copy of what it once was. But the body has to use it again because that's what's being circulated around on the sex hormone binding globulin. That's the little taxi that carries around the hormones. So we have recycled estrogen that may or may not be just right, and it can create more inflammation, and it can put us at risk for DNA damage, which extrapolate that down the line can create illness in people, and sometimes even scarier things. So what these products do is it allows our liver to function and drain and empty, and it allows our digestive system to clear out, which is that third phase of elimination. We want to excrete it. If we can't get it out, then it just sits and recycles again. So this is really important. Why allowing your body the rest with a fasting window is really important, because the body has so much. Think about all of the things that we put on our body, right? The things that we walk out into Manhattan, and the plane that goes over and crop dusts. You've got the Fort Riley folks bombing, you've got the fields burning, you've got the experimental weed killers, pesticides, etc. at the college. You've got NBAF with who knows what's going. I won't say more than that. All I know is who knows what's going in our air. Okay. And then we choose to wash our hair. We choose to put skin products on. We put deodorant on. We put on fast clothing that is made of polyester and petrochemical products that are touching our skin. And when our skin heats, when our skin cools, those molecules are released in our skin. If it's not healthy, absorbs it right in. And even when it is healthy, it'll still be absorbed. Petrochemicals interfere with hormone synthesis. BPA interferes with endocrine system, hormone synthesis. Glyphosate, you name it, what it does to the body. The drug company bought the fertilizer company so that they made sure that they were getting theirs on both ends. Okay. So what we have to do is be sure that while we are in an environment that we can't really control much of other than how we treat ourselves, that is where I'm begging everyone to take control, which is your nutrition. What quality of food you're eating? What quality is the product you're putting on your skin? I went away from Arbonne. I saw pictures of when I kind of like, oh, it's, my friend said it's a little expensive, or I forgot to order, and I'll see if this other stuff at the drugstore works. My skin went so far south. I aged like 2 years like that. And so I have been using the Arbonne products probably for I don't know, maybe 10 years now. I don't know how long it's been, but I took a short break and I could tell your skin. I traveled with a travel set of a very high quality product that has decent reviews, but I came back so parched and so just desperate. I came home and I just rubbed it all over me because it felt so good to just get the moisture that is healthy and well suited for skin. Not just, it's not oil, it's not grease, it's not gross. It's just your body just takes it in and just uses it. And it was so great to come home to do that. I kind of digressed there a little bit. I got excited about something.
I'm gonna make a
Yes.
point.
Yes.
It's not, it doesn't have mineral oil in it.
Yes.
And mineral oil is not designed to be on our skin. It truly is not. It is a byproduct of when they make gasoline. And Arbonne skincare is like food.
Mhm.
It's like nutrition for your skin and your body.
Yeah. And
Mm.
and your body will love it. Honestly, it's been one of those things that when I took my short little digression, I came back and they've made some changes in their product lines, and I have found, I'll show you the one I use. I have a couple different things there, but when we talk about nourishing our body, when we talk about nutrition in menopause and perimenopause, it's not just what we eat, it's what's on us, it's what goes into our brain, it's what we do. Diet is not food. Diet is anything that you repeatedly have exposure to. So that can be your social media, that can be your music, that can be the people you're around. It can be, again, the things that you're putting on your skin, on your hair, on your body. So that's what's really important to me for how to educate people on how to be nourished during menopause. So I've gotten on my little soapbox. I've said a lot of things. Anybody else have questions based on that or anything? Did it make any wheels turn? Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about the greens energy.
Yeah.
So, oh, yes,
I
Chris,
was
yes,
just
yeah.
looking to see, so you're talking about the 7-day detox
Mhm.
in conjunction with the fasting.
Mhm.
Post 7-day detox,
Mhm.
do you
Mhm.
continue with the fast? And
Mhm.
let me back up just one second. I think you mentioned that the matcha is like your first thing in the morning. Is that before your fasting window is up, or is it at your fasting window?
It's during your fasting. Like when I wake up in the morning, I start drinking my matcha. And I drink it, I'll drink 2 cups. I like to put extra water in it so I get more fluid. But I'll drink those 2 cups before I open my eating window.
Mhm. Okay, so then
Yes.
you've got your 7-day detox
Mhm.
done.
Mhm.
Where do you go
Mhm.
from that point?
Glad you asked.
Yes.
So we've had the 30 Days to Healthy Living program for several years. And I just love that we now have the 7-day because it's a beautiful marriage of 2 systems. And so prior to COVID, I was struggling with some hormones and I was 50 and 51. And I was struggling and I couldn't get off 40 pounds that I was carrying. I just could not get it off. And I did the 30 Days to Healthy Living, which is the program we recommend after the 7 days. I did it for 90 days straight. The first month, I was pretty sick. I mean, I was really struggling with my gut health. And I did it for 30 days. And I had a little bit of success, but not huge. And so Dr. Tanda, she's a naturopathic physician, you're familiar with her. She said, Janelle, you have to just trust the process. Do it for 2 more months. So I did. I did it for 90 days. The last month is when all the inflammation dropped off. I dropped like nearly 30 pounds in the last month and a half. And I felt great. I've had tremendous energy and I've kept it off for 5 years. And so, and now that we have the 7-day, it's been a game changer.
Mhm.
So what we really recommend is for optimal success is do what we call the 730 protocol. So you do the 7 days, you get your body ready to go into that 30-day detox. And when you do that 30-day detox, you can do the greens energy. It's 3 of our products that they've put into one, and it's brilliant. It has 28 servings of fruits and vegetables, and not just wheatgrass and a couple little green things. I mean, it is full of a lot of different types of fruits and vegetables. So the more different types you get, the better, the more balance. And so it feeds your body, it feeds your skin, but it also has the gut health. And so that is 5 billion ICUs of probiotic. And it has prebiotics, but it also has 11 different types of digestive enzymes, because not only are we what we eat, but we are truly what we absorb.
Mhm.
And if your body is not breaking down, if you don't have enough acid in your stomach to break down your food, you're really not absorbing any nutrients that you're eating. And so we have the gut health. And the third component of the greens energy, which is brilliant that they've added that, it is the collagen booster. It's the skin elixir, and that boosts your own body's ability to produce collagen. Because collagen, you see tons of collagen on the market, and that comes from animals. It's an animal byproduct. It's most likely cow hooves or some sort of hoof. And I personally have a hard time digesting collagen. And a lot of people have a hard time digesting it because it's not something we're naturally supposed to put in our body. So, and we don't really absorb much of the collagen that we drink if you're drinking a collagen product. But if you can get your body's own ability to increase collagen, that's really what you want. And so the the skin elixir does that. It helps your own body's ability create and build more collagen. And the reason why it's in the gut product is because your gut, like Reagan said, it's tissue. You want it to be tighter and firmer and healthier because it's one cell thick.
Mhm.
And so that collagen booster helps to heal, correct the gut. So the greens energy is beautiful, and it is a product that you can get in the 30 days to healthy living. So the 30 days to healthy living, it can be done on an intermittent fasting protocol. So you can, fast in the morning, drink the detox tea, or drink matcha. You can continue to drink matcha. It's sold separately as well as the Omni Gut that is in the 7-day is also sold separately. But the 30 days to healthy living, you get 2 protein shakes, 2 fizzy sticks which help with focus, because don't we all need more focus when we're going through menopause?
Mhm.
I know I did.
Yeah.
I know I do. And so there's the detox tea that helps to detox. You can do the greens energy. You can add on a fiber that's insoluble and soluble fiber, because that's going to help push toxins. The toxins bind to that fiber and it comes out of your body better. Because like Reagan said, if you're detoxing, you got to get it out. Because when we are getting exposed to toxins, where do those toxins go in our body? Like when they come into our body, where do you think our body puts them?
In our fat cell.
In our fat cells, because it's the safest place for our body to store toxins. And so, yes, exactly. That's why when you try to lose weight and you can't lose weight, it's because your fat cells are full of toxins. And so detoxing is the foundation of trying to lose weight or balance the body, balance the weight, release weight to never come back. We don't want to
Mhm.
lose it because it
Yeah.
might come back.
Yeah.
We want to
Don't
get
wanna
rid of
get
it
it again.
exactly.
Yeah.
So but the detox component of the 30 days to healthy living is truly, it's life changing. I can sit here and tell you it is absolutely life changing
Mhm.
for me, and I've seen it with so many other people. It has helped balance hormones for me tremendously. It's helped to correct and heal. I can't say heal, but help correct my adrenal glands, which used to be shot. And what else? Oh, and we also have a clean detox drink that you will drink the 3rd week of that 30 days that helps pull heavy metals out of your body and helps to flush. Just because when you do the 30 days for 2 weeks, all the toxins in your cells are starting to come into your bloodstream. And you could actually feel like you have some flu symptoms. Like if you're a big fast food eater, I've had people say, man, I'm getting the flu. And I'm like, you're not getting the flu. You are flushing toxins out of your fat cells and they are in your bloodstream and they are making you feel sick. Now's the time to drink the body cleanse, because that body cleanse swoops in there and it just grabs them all and pushes them out of the body.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say is I have done the 30 days to healthy living, has, very much around the time that you had done it. What I love about the 7-day program is the reason your first month wasn't as successful as it could have been is because you hadn't primed the pump. This is going to prime the pump so that it's much easier for your body to release the toxins, and it's going to allow your body to kind of step in and start that balancing process, if you will, of allowing things to leave. Because again, it's starting to find some security because we're not putting a whole bunch of toxic things in through our food. I run the Quantum Metabolic Reset program, which is a 12-week long program where it is whole food. It's protein, fruits, and vegetables. We take out fats, we take out carbs, we take out dairy, we take out gluten, we take out sugar. And it's remarkable. It is life-changing. I have lost 26 pounds on this current round. I had lost 22 pounds the round before. I have people that lose anywhere from 40 to 60 pounds. My dad's down almost 75 pounds, depending on the week, if he's traveled or not. But it's when you know that it works and then how good your body can feel once you've done it. And so my program is slightly different than the 30 days, but it would be an excellent follow-up. And again, this is one that would be modified to be enough food that you aren't losing more weight than you want.
Yeah.
I have some folks that are like, I need to lose 80 pounds. So we're going to do that program. I have some folks that are underweight. I need to build protein. So they get extra protein and I allow healthy fats to them. So it's tweakable, but it's one of those things where whole, organic, healthy food is a must. And that's kind of the foundations of it. One thing that I did realize, so we still have the low sugar program
Mhm.
options.
The 30 Days to Healthy Living is a low sugar approach.
Right.
It is specifically designed, the protein shakes, the fizzies, all of those products are specifically designed not to spike your blood sugar.
They aren't carb free, but what it is it's those slow carbs that our bodies get from the vegetables that are helping us to feel full and to digest and clear out the things that we need to clear out. And so it's a similar type program. So either one of those would be an excellent follow-up. When I have folks come in. So again, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, I'm not dissing her at all. 100% not dissing her. What we have is a woman who is a bodybuilder. She is fit. She has all of the muscle. And that's the gleaming little thing that to take from today is the number one thing you can do for longevity and health and optimization of who you are is to build muscle, lean muscle. You want more of it and you don't want less of it. You want to constantly be building it. So these products with the collagen, with the detox, all of that, if we aren't releasing fat, if our body can't release the toxic fat, we can't really build muscle because it's too busy trying to maintain what we have in our fat cells. So she's not wrong when she's pushing us to lift heavy. You know, women should lift heavy. When we're in perimenopause and menopause, the nice little jaunt around the park is great, but that's not going to get you where you want to go. What's going to happen? What's going to get you moving and transforming your body is to build muscle. And so that can be Pilates, yoga, body weight exercises where you're just doing planks, or even like the little cans or hand weights where you're just moving and making muscles move in your body that you don't normally do. As we age, we don't do things anymore that exercise all of our muscles. We walk forward. Rarely do we go backwards. And if we sidestep, oh, my hip, right? We don't do that as we get older. And it's probably in our 30s that starts catching us. We're like, oh, my balance is gone. Our arms, this is pretty much what we do. Maybe this, click, click. Okay. Maybe we're strong enough to hold a book instead of having to just listen to it because our arms get tired. So we don't do anything that challenges our body anymore. And so my favorite thing to do is tell people to go out and play with their kids, do what they're doing. Better yet, go mimic a baby, go watch a baby play on the floor and do everything that baby's doing, because that baby is creating muscles and wiring and hardwiring the pathways that create a healthy brain. And you will be exhausted if you do 15 minutes of what that baby's doing just to hold their head up and just to look around and just to push their little body up. If you do that, I want to do baby yoga here. I totally want to just have somebody bring in their non-crawling baby and we just do what they do for half an hour. We will be so tired because they are doing hard work. And if we did that every day, we would be much fitter. We would be much stronger. And we would be appropriately hungry, and our body would know what to nourish us with because it would be triggered by our activity and healthy lean muscle to know what we need. So that's another part of this nutrition. So again, back to this whole thing. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon has done some amazing work. She hits very heavy on certain different things. I took notes here. Let me look at my notes because I don't want to misspeak. But I've had people come in and say, well, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? I'm like, because you're not that.
Everybody's body's different.
Everybody's different. Yeah.
I might say that 20 times in my yoga classes, every time.
Mhm.
Everybody's body's different. We all can do different things.
All right. So that's the fast like a girl. Okay, so yes, muscle is the key organ of longevity, especially during menopause with hormonal changes, accelerating muscle loss, insulin resistance, and fat gain. That's what happens when the hormones start to go away. So I am a big fan of hormone support or hormone replacement. I am a user of my product. I use testosterone pellets and I will not say no. I know what it's done for my body. I know that it has helped me. It has balanced my hormones, my sleep, my mood, my skin, my hair quit falling out. Like there's a lot of things that testosterone has helped. It also helps us to balance our female hormones. So in menopause, this is something people don't understand is that the dominant hormone in menopause is testosterone.
I have a lot
So
of it.
we need it. It's
Mhm.
honestly good for us. The more exercise you do, the more naturally your testosterone will go up as well. What we need in our body to create those hormones is cholesterol. So we can't take it all away. But when we're going through a weight loss program or if we're going through rapid detox and fat loss, what we want to do is allow the liver to get rid of all of it that's stored. That's why we restrict it in the diet so that our body will use up what's already stored. Okay. And then once we get you to goal where your weight is where you want it to be for maintenance, then we add in healthy cholesterol sources so that your body can then use that and turn it into your cortisol, can turn it into your sex hormones. So it's cholesterol, pregnenolone, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA. Testosterone then turns into estrogen, and then estrogen goes to the wayside. So we have to have all of these things working. If we don't, that's where we get an imbalance. As we go through menopause, women's cholesterol spikes because the estrogen is falling off, it's going away. So the body's naturally holding on to cholesterol. And what do they want you to do at 45 years old when you're going through menopause and your cholesterol is 250? And oh my goodness, you're going to have a heart attack and a stroke, but your estrogen's gone. We can't even see it. So here's an estrogen patch and a statin. By the way, if you're on a statin within a year, you're likely going to be diabetic because it leads to insulin resistance and it's a known proven fact. And if you have diabetes, guess what? You get to be on lisinopril, which is a blood pressure pill that you may or may not need yet. And maybe you need an aspirin. And by the way, that statin's probably not working enough because your body's screaming for more. And so we're going to give you an extra cholesterol medicine called a fenofibrate. And it's not working. Oh gosh, you're depressed. Here's an antidepressant. What? You can't sleep? Here's a sleeping pill. This is conventional medicine's management of menopause. This is why I do what I do, because it is wrong. It is a disservice to women and it's making us sicker. So my goal is to create the knowledge, number one, the awareness of how we can not have to go down that pathway, and then educate you on how to pull yourself out of it. Because sometimes we didn't even know what we were doing. And so again, I wanted to make sure I touched on this. Protein. Gabrielle Lyons' thing is protein, protein, protein. 1 gram for every kilogram of body fat, or no, 1 gram for every pound of ideal body weight. Can I eat 150 or 175 grams of protein a day?
No.
That's a lot.
Right.
There's no way.
No, and I would worry about my kidneys, and I can't drink enough fluid to keep up with flushing it. So that being said, we recommend quality protein, so 60 to 90 grams a day, depending on what you're eating and what you take in. And healthy fats, yes, I am 100% a good advocate of a healthy fat. Give me some good avocado, organic, unrefined coconut oil, healthy fatty fish, all of those things. I like that. Olive oil, oh my gosh, the closer you can get it to the tree in Italy, the better. Okay, it should be spicy. If it's not spicy, it's trash.
We found some of that.
Yes.
Down at, the Aero coffee place.
Uh-huh. They do have good stuff.
Yeah.
They do.
It's expensive.
Yes.
But it is like, I told my kid, don't touch this, it's not for popcorn.
Yes. So the beauty of expensive, organic, healthy food is you don't need as much either because your satiety goes up. So you're not as hungry. So instead of my history, because I was a McDonald's lady, I'm ashamed to say it, but I ate a lot of McDonald's growing up. I ate a lot of McDonald's feeding my children. They're healing from it. When you can go and eat a double Whopper with bacon, a large French fry, and throw it down with your large Diet Coke and get it all in, it's a problem. Now, if I eat 4 ounces of fish, a half cup of asparagus and a half a cup of cauliflower puree. I'm like, oh, I can't put another bite in my body, but it's because my body is getting exactly what it needs. Those foods are created to be flushable foods. We call them slider foods. They go in and they go out. Sure, drink that giant drink because it's just going to push it through into your small intestine and you're going to take more. Blood sugar goes up when you're having these things, French fries and a hamburger bun. When your blood sugar goes up, your insulin goes up in response to that blood sugar. When your insulin goes up, your body's like, let's eat more. We have to do it because we got to balance this amount of insulin. So it's just this vicious cycle. And I'll put a CGM on my folks and they're eating that way. And I've done it as an experiment to show them a continuous glucose monitor.
Okay.
My blood sugar will spike to 200. It'll drop to 50 or 45 when I'm eating a standard American diet. And I've done this as an experiment and it was terrible. I felt awful, the dizzies, the hanger, the you name it. And then what I did the next week is I went on our quantum metabolic reset program and people panic. That's only 800 calories a day, Dr. Reagan. I think I'm going to die. I really think I'm going to die. I'm going to die. This is not enough food. This is unhealthy. I need to report you. Well, my blood sugar balanced out at 80 all day long. When I ate my meals during my my eating window during the fasting period, I fasted for 16 hours, ate in the 8-hour window. I had 4 ounces of protein. I had 4 ounces of fruits. I had 4 ounces of vegetables. No carbs, no dairy, no bread, no nuts, no butter. I cooked my food in broth or water or steamed it with seasoning. What is that? Flavor on food, right? We don't know how to cook. I love to teach people how to cook. So I did that, balanced my blood sugars between 80, 85 around the clock, slept like a baby. My skin was glowing and it was fantastic. And then I'm like, why don't I do that every day? Because it's easy to live life. Okay. This was another question I was going to ask is, what's your day like? Because I had a day today. When we're in our 40s, 50s, who are you taking care of? Anybody? Name 3 or 4 people that you're taking care of besides yourself. Who are you worried about?
My daughter, my dad.
Okay. So sandwich generation, right?
We all live together. So
Okay. Yep. And who wins when it's time to cook dinner?
the 80-year-old,
Right. And what do they like?
actually, he's very healthy.
Well, that's good.
But
Good.
we
That's
don't
healthy.
eat a lot of pasta. We don't eat a lot of rice. He grew up on a farm
Mhm.
and in California. And so actually his parents were rice farmers.
Mhm.
And so he comes from a very like not a meat and potatoes person.
Mhm.
Like we eat a lot of fish, we eat a lot of like we'll do just the meat and vegetables.
Mhm. That's good.
So,
Yeah. And then who's the one working? Who has the job?
myself.
Okay. And who's responsible for getting everything ready in the morning?
Actually, my daughter's 16, so she's on
Okay.
her own.
There are some 16-year-olds who can't handle that yet.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
she does. She's good. She gets herself up. She makes her lunch. She gets
Good.
her, you know,
Mhm.
she needs that reminder to brush her teeth every morning, but
Mhm.
you know,
Right. So does that sound reasonable or about similar for most folks? You know, some of us may have older kids that have moved out. See, I've got 4 sons that are out of the house and then almost 11-year-old. So we've got 20, 23, 24, and 26, and then almost 11.
well, I have 2 others, but
Mhm.
yeah, they're not at home there.
Yeah. So
It's just me most of the day.
yeah,
I only have to.
but
get
you
my
have
myself
grown-up
into-
kids though, yeah?
Yeah. and
Right?
They're both
Doing their thing right now.
doing their thing.
Yeah. So sometimes being with just me, myself, and I can be a big job too, right? It can be a lot of work. Okay.
Yeah.
When we're trying to figure out what to do, sometimes we can be so busy, we don't even know where our head nor our tail is. And then we get that time and we're all on our own and we're like, I don't even know where to start. I have this bucket of things that I want to do and this big long list. And I think I just want to sit here. And then nothing happens because it's just our brain won't let us because we don't know what we want really. And this is perimenopause. This is menopause. This is the brain that's tired, the brain that's done a lot and done everything for everybody else and worries for everybody else. And we have to protect it. We need to shelter her from all of those outside influences that, while they may love you, they don't have your highest interest at heart because they have their own ego, their own self that they have to take care of. And so I want to encourage and empower you to step into your highest, most optimal self right now so that you can be the most you can be right now for all of those people that depend on you, whether it's just yourself or it seems like the world. Okay. So, nutrition is the foundation. If I had to lay it out in pillars, pillars are little things, dainty little things that hold up a roof. Well, nutrition is the foundation that supports it all. And if it's a wobbly, sandy foundation, we're getting nowhere. And the standard American diet as it is, I love their food pyramid now. It's all stacked up. It's like a whole bunch of sticks stacked together. And it's not even, it's all equal. Yeah, it's terrible. So it's just everything kind of in the same amount and it's all meats at the tip and all at the bottom. It's like, I will stop. I will stop my words right there. I was about to go somewhere that I don't need to go right now. Anywho, it's just it's not suitable. So if we turned the food pyramid on its head, shape wise, but left each food item in the right order that they have it built on, that would be a more appropriate food pyramid. Meats and fats, fruits and vegetables. I'm going to argue healthy grains needs to be at the tip, very minimum. But we want to do healthy fats, fruits and vegetables, proteins, grains, because we need some. They have vitamins, but they don't need to be grains with a little bit of garnish of meat and veggies. It needs to be meat and veggies with a sprinkling of rice or like a little teeny tiny serving of whatever grain that you want to have. And it should be an ancient grain because the new grains, they're the modern grains, aren't even digestible by our systems anymore. That's why everybody's got gluten disease or gluten sensitivity because it's not real gluten anymore. It's monster gluten. So yes, is bread safe? Ancient bread, if you have organic, ancient grain made wheat bread, you can go to Europe and eat it. Won't hurt you unless you have celiac disease. But at that point, that's rare compared to what we see in the United States. It's this non-gluten sensitive or non-celiac gluten sensitivity. And it's a approved diagnosis now. So yeah, I get really passionate about things if you haven't noticed yet. I love to bring that passion to our individual sessions as well as groups. And my hope and my goal is to continue to do these talks for women's health and focusing on perimenopause and menopause as we move forward. So I would love to discuss having you come back and leading yoga for our body session, if that's something that we could talk about, but for lean muscle, because simple, it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be 3 hours in the gym. It can be moving your body. It can be making a choice to, instead of doing the giant jazzercise stuff, if you lay in bed and you just activate muscle, did you know just activating muscle is enough? Thinking in your brain that you're activating the muscle actually does more than just laying still. So you can like imagine you're doing it and it actually does something in your body. Talk to Joe Dispenza about that one.
She's right.
But it's just amazing. And I want to continue to teach and want to offer these offerings, to as many people as I can. So I think recording it is important too, to share to the people who weren't able to come or didn't know about it so that I can put it out there. So let's see here. It is 6:45. I want to offer options for questions or any other things, but I kind of want to show you what we've got here. And if you want some more snacks, we can do that too. Any?
Okay, I do have.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm always intrigued by the detox, and then you've got your 30 and whatever. But what do you suggest to people that don't care for protein drinks or fizzy drinks, or like I have yet to find one that, and if I feel like I have to force it, I feel like I'm getting a resisted benefit.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So what I say to that is you haven't tried Arbonne, because my grandbabies, I have to make them stay out of my fizzies. Every day, every time they come, can we have a chocolate shake? Chocolate shake. That's to them is chocolate shake, chocolate shake. And one of my grandsons loves the vanilla with cinnamon. Can you make me a cinnamon shake? And so they love it. They can't get enough of it. I encourage you to try them because you will say, this is like no protein shake I've ever drank. You will say, this is like no fizzy I've ever had.
I don't know
Yeah.
have I given you any of the fizz sticks? Have you tried them?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I have so the protein powder that I have right now is their Fit One, where it's just 1 gram of sugar. It doesn't thicken up like the conventional essential meal. I like the essential meal because it thickens up and it feels like
It's a
it feels
meal.
like a milkshake.
Yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
meal.
that's the mental space that you can get.
Mhm.
You can turn it into ice cream, you can turn it into pudding, you can make it into protein balls. I mean, and the flavor isn't like the other protein shakes. It's a whole thing.
Smooth and
So if you want to try the coffee mocha one that I have here, that's thin and it stays more like a,
I have the chocolate
Yeah.
essential too.
Yeah.
If you want to try it.
it's a trial.
Yeah.
If you don't like to drink your food, this is a little different. I mean, you do have meals during this, but there's a lot of things to hydrate and replenish you. And we find that going through the beverage route's a lot easier than a whole bunch of pills. I have some folks that are like, just give me the pills. Well, okay. Still need to hydrate, still need all of that liquid. So we have a lot of it here if you want to try it. I mean, it's there. You can taste it. We can mix up one and you guys can all sample it if you'd like. Again, the fizz stick, I know that if I drink one after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I won't sleep. I literally will not sleep until the next morning. It's B vitamins. It's not like caffeine. It's not a Red Bull. It's not a Monster drink. And so it's nutritional. But
And-
for my system, I know my limit. So I drink mine in the morning and I do put more water in it. It calls for 8 ounces. I use 32 just because I like a more diluted flavor. They're very tasty. But yeah, if you want that, we have the ashwagandha, like,
The intercom.
yes, the intercom. I was trying to remember what it's called, but it tastes kind of like pink lemonade. And if you want an evening drink, if you're, I have folks that want to cut out alcohol. They don't want to drink their wine at night, but they still want to relax and just kind of mellow out. That'll do that for you. It's not a sedative. It's not an alcohol stupor. It's just a relaxation and it's a nice, pleasant flavor. So you can have it and think it's like it's not sparkling either. It's a flat, so there's no bubbles in it. So there's just some different options that are there. The greens are phenomenal. I love the flavor of the greens. And I love that they put the three together because some of them were a little harder to do on their own. And now that they're together, it makes it a really easy synergy, like what it's called, I guess,
Exactly. And
to get it in.
it's a citrus flavor.
Yeah. So it's nice that way.
The essential meal protein actually has 25 grams of vegan protein. It's 5 different types of protein. And because it's a blend of 5 different proteins, it has all 9 essential amino acids.
Which is hard to get through vegan.
It is. And most proteins on the market have a couple.
Mhm.
But I think we are actually the only company that has all 9 essential amino acids, or at least we were. We also are the only company that has a complete meal protein because it is the perfect blend of protein, carbs, and fat. It has a little bit of avocado oil in it. So it's a perfect blend. It's exactly what your body needs in a meal.
So those are some of the things that we have here. We brought our favorite skincare things as well. There's a couple of different routes. I had packed all of my Arbonne skincare this morning. So I am not representing Arbonne as far as my skin hydration. Again, I just came back from a week in the mountains in Santa Fe, so I got a sunburn
And dehydrated.
and I got
I
very
lived there.
dehydrated and sat in the hot spring. So I was like, I came home like a prune. So I'm still trying to hydrate up. But so if you're trying to look and see what my skin looks like with Arbonne, this is not it. This is the last time I used it was last night at bedtime. So I love it though. If you want to feel what any of it feels like, feel free to just kind of tap it on your skin and see. Yeah. And so it's just here. And if you have questions about it or anything, please, feel free to talk to either one of us.
Sorry, I know you said you offer service. What kind of services do you offer there?
Oh yeah. So I do a lot here. So at the root, it's a direct primary care, which is a monthly fee subscription practice. So I don't bill any insurance. And that's considered a primary care service. My passion is functional medicine, which is getting to the root cause of why people are sick, stay sick, can't get well, or it's a beautiful synergy of helping people with prevention who don't want to become sick using natural means to keep them well. And the other things that I do here is bioidentical hormone replacement. We do IV therapy. We have the M-Cella, the M-Sculpt, so pelvic floor rehab, body composition, and pain rehab on this equipment. We have an infrared sauna, so we do detox through sauna. And then I currently don't have a nutritionist or anything, but I'm looking at a program to bring in. I'm this True Neura cognitive repair can be used in all facets of life, but it's going to have a health coach and some other modules to help. Okay, so it's not just me one-on-one teaching. It's going to be different modules that you will do to help advance your knowledge so that you can heal faster.
Can I speak about bioidentical?
Yes.
So, about bioidentical hormones.
Okay.
So, I live closer to Lawrence, so I go to a DO in Lawrence. I wish I could come out here. If I lived just a little bit closer, I'd come out here. But, so I'm 56, and a couple years ago, I mean, for a long time, I was really good, but it became very apparent that there was no estrogen or progesterone left, or at least it felt like it. And so I went to my doctor and I said, I don't want anything synthetic. It absolutely has to be bioidentical. And so she put me on some bioidentical hormones, and it has really made a huge difference. And I encourage you to talk to Dr. Reagan about bioidenticals, because they are not what you hear, the horror stories that you used to hear about. And if you couple an estradiol patch with, you know, a progesterone pill, both bioidentical, it can work really well. You know, maybe your testosterone, you know, the testosterone, my testosterone was fine, so I'm not on anything like that, but I encourage you not to be afraid of it.
So we do all of those different things. So when I do a functional medicine consultation, it's a 2-hour visit. You come in, we go through your pre-birth to current timeline, get your whole history, work on kind of what your priorities are, where you're having issues. Look at exposures. That timeline's not just like, what have you done in life? It's where did you live? What trauma did you have? I got married, I had a kid, I had a divorce, my parents got divorced, my grandma died, my dog died, my pet horse died. We look at all of these things and see where, after each of these little notches comes in, did you have a physical problem? Like, when did your illness start? When did your problem start? When did your symptoms begin? And then we work to optimize those and figure out why. So sometimes it's mold, sometimes it's heavy metals, sometimes it is metabolic, sometimes it's emotional. Most of the time there's an emotional component. So I do body, mind, spirit medicine here. It's not just like, here's a lab, here's a pill, gone. We get into it. I had a conversation today with somebody who went to their other provider, which I referred them to, and they said, well, we're getting to the point where we think there's some emotions keeping you from healing. And they asked, well, what do I do about that? And I said, let them out. It's time to let the emotion go so that you can finally have healing. You've had this for 10 years. Let it go. So we work on that. We work on how we can let it go. We work on identifying, if possible, what that emotion is. Sometimes we don't need to know because that's more traumatic than actually just releasing. So I do some things like emotion code that are possible to just let things go. And it's for people who are ready and willing to do that kind of thing. Or I'll refer out to folks who do energy work and some other stuff.
She's speaking my language.
Energy work. So some people like Reiki or attunement, which is kind of more of a hands-off massage or energy movement to help our bodies release those things. We are an energy being. We can do an EEG, we can do an EKG, we can do an EMG, we can do all of these tests that harness the energy going on in the body. So we can get a diagnosis. I believe we can use that energy field to treat as well. And so I work in that kind of frame of mind as well.
And I'm an art therapist, so I'm a firm believer in healing the spirit.
Yeah. So does that answer your question?
I think so.
Okay. Did it spur any other questions?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. All right. anything you guys want to explore. We've got the Emsella, we've got the Emsculpt, we've got the snacks, we've got the different Arbonne products, any of those things, you're welcome to kind of, you know, like Children's Museum it, try it out, touch it, feel it. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah. So you guys, great questions.